Behind every great NBA player is a team, a group of individuals who support, challenge, and inspire them. For some players, this bond is unbreakable. They stay with one team for their entire career, building a relationship with their organization and their fans that goes beyond the court. In this video, we'll be discussing the top NBA players who stayed loyal to their teams until retirement. We'll be celebrating their dedication, achievements, and their impact on the league. Let us introduce the top 8 NBA players who stayed loyal to their teams until retirement. Udonis Haslam. When it comes to embodying Miami Heat, this guy is hotter than a Cuban sandwich on a South Beach summer day. Born and raised in 305, Udonis is as Miami as Pitbull and Confessio. He's so Miami that if you cut him, he'd bleed salsa and mojito. And speaking of cutting, in 2003, the Heat took a chance on him as an undrafted rookie in the 2002 NBA Draft. And boy, did it pay off. He helped the Heat win 3 NBA championships in 2006, 2012, and 2013. Udonis was like a bottle of Dom Perignon, only getting better with age. And just like fine wine, he knew how to make everyone around him feel better. His teammates and coaches loved him so much that they nicked him the heart and soul. And it's no wonder why. With his dedication and his commitment to the team, he practically bled black and red. Both the Denver Nuggets and the Dallas Mavericks tried to lure him away, but Udonis wasn't having it. He was like a loyal Miami resident, refusing to leave South Beach even during hurricane season. And why would he? In 2010-2011, he signed a 5-year contract extension worth $20 million, which is enough to buy a lifetime supply of pastelitos. Dirk Nowitzki, our big boy. His 21-year run with the Mavericks was so impressive that it's almost like he was a real-life basketball superhero. What about Dwight Howard? In the 1998 NBA Draft, Dirk was a number 9 overall pick and was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. But GM Don Nelson of the Mavericks had a different plan. He traded their 6th overall pick, Robert Traylor, for Dirk, crossing his fingers that someday Dirk would take the Mavs to their first championship. In 2006, Dirk became a free agent after completing his initial 6-year contract with the Dallas Mavericks, but he re-signed a 3-year contract worth $60 million. In 2010, Dirk again became a free agent, and the New York Knicks and the Miami Heat came calling for him. Dirk once again decided to stay on the Mavs, signing a 4-year contract worth $80 million. The $80 million contract is freaking worth it because in 2011, Dirk led the Mavs to win their first ever championship after 31 years of Dallas Mavericks in the NBA. In 2014, he opted out the final year of the contract and re-signed a 3-year contract worth $25 million. In 2016, again, he opted out the contract and Dirk signed a $50 million 2-year contract with the team. Dirk was like an ancient sage, willing to share his knowledge and expertise with anyone who sought it. Just look at all the fantastic players he helped along the way. Steve Nash, Michael Finley, Jason Kidd, Josh Howard, the list goes on and on. By the end of his career, Dirk's impact on the Mavericks was so massive they practically worshipped the ground he walked on. They retired his jersey number, 41, and even put a statue in his honor outside their home arena. It's almost like he was a basketball god, but he was still a humble guy from Germany who was really good at basketball. Kobe Bryant spent his entire 20-year NBA career playing for the Los Angeles Lakers. This dude was born to play for the Lakers. But do you know, Kobe's journey to stardom wasn't exactly a smooth ride. I mean, in 1996, he was drafted by the Charlotte Hornets for crying out loud. But thankfully, the Lakers swooped in and saved the day by trading him for center Vlade Divac. And boy, did Kobe have his heart set on playing for them. He signed a 3-year contract worth $3.5 million. After 3 years with the Lakers, Kobe became a free agent in 1999. He re-signed with the Lakers for $71 million over 6 years. In 2004, he got some offers from Clippers and the Pistons, but he re-signed a 7-year contract worth $136 million with the Lakers. Talk about loyalty. This guy bleeds purple and gold, or should I say millions of dollars. In the 2005-2007 seasons, the team struggled and did miss the playoffs. Kobe threatened to become a free agent if the Lakers didn't transfer him in 2007. He inked a 3-year contract worth $90 million with the Lakers agreement. In 2008, Kobe led the Lakers back to the NBA Finals. After opting out of his final Lakers contract in 2009, Kobe became a free agent again. He promptly re-signed with the organization on a 3-year, $87 million deal. And then, with his individual brilliance and unwavering determination, he helped the Lakers capture 2 more championships in 2009 and 2010. After finishing his 4-year contract in 2013, Kobe became a free agent for the last time. He then signed a $48.5 million 2-year contract with the franchise. Of course, not everyone on the Lakers was on board with Kobe's fierce competitiveness. Some teammates and Coach Phil Jackson found it a bit, shall we say, contentious? But hey, when you've got talent like Kobe's, you can afford to rub a few people the wrong way. Just joking, of course not. Kobe may have had his ups and downs like us, but at the end of the day, he was a true champion who gave it all to the team he loved. Rest in peace, Black Mamba.
What can I say? Mamba out.
Tim Duncan's 19-year career was a basketball powerhouse. I mean, this guy was so good, he practically had a championship ring for every finger. Well, almost. With 5 NBA championships under his belt, and a slew of All-NBA and All-Star honors. But what really set Duncan apart was his unselfish play. He was the ultimate wingman, always setting his teammates up for success and putting the team's needs first. And let's remember his partnership with Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. Those two were like peanut butter and jelly, or maybe like tequila and lime. Hey, this is San Antonio we're talking about. Popovich often credited Duncan for setting the tone for the team's culture and success on and off the court. Talk about a slam dunk for teamwork. In 2000, Duncan became a free agent, and the Orlando Magic became obsessed with him and offered him a lucrative contract. Duncan couldn't contain himself to be excited to play with Orlando. But in a meeting, Duncan's girlfriend asked Doc Rivers, a new coach of Orlando Magic at the time, a simple question that flipped everything and made Duncan step back and remain loyal to the Spurs. And in 2001, he signed another 3-year contract worth $45 million. And at the end of this video, you will know what that simple yet interesting question is. And boy, you will be shocked. So stay tuned. Did you know that in July of 2014, 39-year-old Duncan re-signed a 3-year contract worth $30 million? But in 2014-2015, he opted in the final year of his contract, which was the 2015-2016 season. By opting in, he chose to continue playing for the Spurs with $5.25 million for that season and in 2016. John Stockton's career with the Jazz was as reliable as his short shorts were short. John Stockton was like a good friend who always showed up on time and never flaked out. He played ball for a whopping 19 seasons and teamed up with Karl Malone to make the Jazz an absolute powerhouse. Their dynamic duo was like peanut butter and jelly, and it just worked. This dude didn't just break records for assists and steals, he shattered them like they were made of glass. He's so good that he could probably throw a pass blindfolded and still hit his teammate right in the face with the ball. He is one of the monster point guards in the history of the NBA. Stockton became a free agent for the first time in 1990 when his 4-year contract with the Utah Jazz expired. He re-upped for $15 million over 5 years after previously playing for the team. In 1995, he was once again a free agent. Stockton mulled over leaving the Jazz. Nevertheless, he decided to re-sign with them for 5 years and $25 million. In 1996, the Trailblazers took a shot at him and made him an offer, but Stockton knew where its bread was buttered and decided to stick with the Jazz, signing a 3-year contract worth $15 million. In 2000, when his 3-year contract expired, he re-signed for a year contract worth $4.5 million, and then he retired in 2003. Reggie Miller played his entire 18-year career with the Indiana Pacers. His expertise at hitting clutch shots really ruffled the feathers of the team's Eastern Conference rivals, with the New York Knicks being a particular sore spot. You could tell they were bothered by it. I mean, who wouldn't be? He just had a way of getting under their skin with his precision and accuracy when it mattered most. In fact, Miller was so good against the Knicks that he earned the nickname Nick Killer among Pacer fans. Despite the Knicks and other teams trying to woo him away, Miller stayed true to the Pacers and inked a whopping $62 million 7-year deal in 1996. Talk about a wise investment. He led the team to 16 playoff appearances and 5 jaunts to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, they fell short in their only NBA Finals appearance against the Lakers in 2000. And again in the year 2000, he wanted to try out free agency market by opting out of the final year of his contract. But he ended up re-signing with the Pacers on a 6-year, $90 million contract. He is the team's all-time leading scorer, and after calling it quits in 2005, his number 31 was retired by the franchise in 2006. He probably thought he'd spend the rest of his days chilling on the couch with some chips and dip. But hold on to your phone, players. Miller was finally recognized and admitted into the Hall of Fame in the year 2012. That's right, he made the cut as one of the NBA's all-time sharpshooters. Tony Parker and his 17 seasons on the Spurs is outstanding. He was the 28th overall choice in the 2001 NBA Draft. Parker and Spurs superstars Tim Duncan and Manu Ginobili formed a dynamic trio, giving the team a 1-2 punch that opponents couldn't handle. Parker quickly became one of the league's top point guards, and guess what? He snatched not 1, not 2, but 6 All-Star selections along the way. Oh, and did we mention he helped the Spurs win 4 NBA championships? That's some serious bling. Coach Greg Popovich even called him his son, which was either a testament to Parker's talent or a sign that Popovich needed to get out more. Many other NBA clubs were interested in Parker during his career, entering the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. In the 2014-2015 season, Parker and San Antonio Spurs were having a tense and unclear decision. Parker was reportedly seeking a 3-year, $30 million contract deal. Being that Parker was 33 years old and had an injury history, the Spurs were cautious about signing him, but the Spurs gave Parker a 3-year contract worth $43 million. But, unfortunately, all good things must end, and in 2018, the Spurs and Parker mutually agreed to part ways. Parker signed a $10 million 2-year contract with the Charlotte Hornets, but played only 1 season. And then in 2019, he announced his retirement. Manu Ginobili, the Argentine assassin, was actually drafted by the Spurs in 1999 as the 57th overall pick, but at the time, he was actually playing professional basketball in Argentina, and that's why he did not play in the NBA until 2002, when Manu signed his first 2-year contract worth $2.8 million and became an integral part of their success. Manu was one of the big 3 of the Spurs, and he helped the team to win 4 NBA championships. Manu Ginobili was reportedly offered a 2-year, $30 million contract by the Sixers in the summer of 2016 to lure him away from San Antonio. Manu said no and signed a $14 million contract for 1 year until it ended his spectacular 16-year career with the Spurs in 2018. Fans became emotional to his farewell. So, what was the question that Duncan's girlfriend asked Doc Rivers that made Duncan step back like James Harden and re-sign a contract with the Spurs? Don't go anywhere just yet, trust me, you won't want to miss this. So, Duncan's girlfriend asked Doc Rivers if their family could join the same plane as the Orlando Magic players during a private meeting, but Doc shut it down with a firm no. And that's why Tim Duncan refused the Magic of Orlando. I mean, I told you it would be shocking, but who knew that Doc Rivers was the ultimate deal breaker? Looks like Duncan's love life just couldn't get off the ground, literally. So, we want to hear from you. What do you think? Had Duncan's girlfriend gotten a different answer from Doc, would he still be the same player we all admire today? Leave a comment down below and let's get the conversation started. This is Heroes of the Courtside, your stop for the NBA's most obscure yet fascinating stories. Thank you for watching.